People, it's your boy, Cyrex, out here with a brand new episode of The Freak Show. That's right. We are doing episode 28 now. So check this out. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all my listeners, all my fans, whether you're a fan of the music, a fan of the podcast, or just a fan of me, or any combination, or all three. I just want to give a shout out to you for supporting, for just being around and being a part of the community. This community is very small and it's building very slowly, but I mean, slow and steady wins the race. I'm in this for the long haul. So anytime, just comment, leave a comment on any post anywhere, just talk to me. So, Go Up. Go Up is out. Y'all, Go Up is out, and Go Up is about to be the hottest new song in the streets. It's about to be the hottest new song in the college dorms. It's about to be the hottest new song at the open mics. You feel me? Yo, Go Up is out here. It's on all the major streaming stores too. It's on Google Play, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. It might be. I'll have to double check that. If it's not, I'll put it there myself and I'll link it. What's the next one? Spotify. Right, Spotify. So for those of you who have been listening on Spotify and on Apple Music, and for those of you listening by other means, especially on SoundCloud and stuff like that, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. All my freaks, that's right. Y'all are officially freaks or freak rockers. Freak, of course, is short for freak rockers. Freak rock in the motherfucking place to be. You feel me? We out here, y'all. Check this out. So I'm on Twitter right now, and I saw this post. It says, Jonathan Smith, age 30, saved about 30 people. It says last night. It's 30 people in the Las Vegas massacre. He might live, he saved 30 people before he was shot in the neck. He might live with the bullet for the rest of his life. That's crazy, y'all, for the rest of his life. So, definitely wanna shoot a special thank you to Jonathan Smith for putting his neck out there, basically panicking. I mean, I'm sure people you go into a certain mode, you go into your fight or flight. When something like that happens, when a shooter, when somebody begins firing upon a crowd, and I don't know the exact story, but when that kind of thing happens and I'm sure people were going down. I believe it was in the 200s were injured, and unfortunately we did lose in the 50s, I believe. I hope that it remained that low, even though we already know one's too many, But I just hope that it doesn't exceed the last number that I saw. That's terrible. That's just awful. And I'm just sad that it had to happen. Not even had to. It didn't have to happen. I'm just sad that it happened. When I heard about that, I was in a little disbelief. Then I looked. I haven't even watched a particularly large, segment on any show about this. I've let myself fall behind the news this week, I'd say. But, jeez, my eyes feeling away. But yeah, that's just really sad, and it's really disheartening, that it's happening yet again, and that it apparently became the deadliest shooting in U.S. history, the deadliest shooting in American history. What's up with that? Come on. But I mean, what am I gonna do? Tell people to do better? Hindsight is 20/20. And the first thing that came out of the gun people, basically these mouths, was don't think that this is a gun laws thing. Don't talk about gun laws. Like, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck right now. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. We need the right to bear arms. That is a basic American civil liberty, the right to keep and bear arms. And yes, I'm sure there basically needs to be a regulation on this. Didn't Trump lift a ban on providing people with mental illness, people with mental illness? Didn't Trump lift a ban on providing firearms to people, or allowing the sale of firearms to people with mental illnesses? Don't you need to go through some kind of screening? You certainly should not be able to walk right into Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a gun and walk right out. That's bullshit. I don't know if that's what happens. I highly doubt that's what happens, but I know that there's people who think that way and want that. And that's insane. You should not be able to pick up a basketball, cool. Football pads, cool. The likelihood of a basketball ending somebody's life is very low. The likelihood of football pads ending someone's life, not high. So, this we're talking about a weapon that's been engineered to be able to end your opponent's life. A device that was engineered for war, for combat, and effectively ends lives. Hold up, y'all. Alright, bug was getting all in the space. That was, y'all know how that goes. Looks like my screen's lagging a little bit. Whatever, no matter. Oh, is my screen locked? Okay, never mind. Right, so, this, I can just feel it in me. There's people who would like for a person to be able to walk into Dick's Sporting Goods, buy a rifle. And I'm talking about your standard issue rifle, your standard, blow, cock again, blow, not any kind of automatic or anything. But still, to be able to walk into Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a rifle, that would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. These are things. This is something that can end somebody's life. This is something that literally, you just hold it like normal. You hold it like normal in your hands, and you just fire it. You not only can, you generally do end somebody's life. That's very powerful. You kill a human. You can kill a human. You can kill a bear with a single shot, I'm sure. To the right area, I'm sure. Sure, same case with a horse. I think I saw that in a movie. We're talking about something that uses very powerful force, very extreme force, to propel a bullet to make it powerful enough to break through skin, in many cases bone and muscle, and sever or strike, or in some cases destroy a part of one's body that is essential to life. Be it severing arteries, in the arms or in the legs. Be it hitting the heart. be it hitting your fucking brain. Like, that. I absolutely am in support of people being able to go through a screening process I would even say a rigorous screening process, where you have to, like, go to maybe a government building. Yeah, sure, it's a bitch and a half, but if you really want that gun, you should be willing to go through that process. I'm not saying you should like it, but you should be willing to go through that process. Go to a government building, make sure you get the right permit, make sure you get a permit for the exact one that you want. You need to get the model number and all that shit before you even go in there. So you need to do research on what you want, get the model number. Set it to. I feel like you should start in order, and start in order on whatever site, and it should ask for a particular access code, a particularly unique access code, maybe 20 digits or some shit. 20 digits, let's say. A particular access code that you obviously have to go through the government process, the municipal or the county or the state process. Whatever the case may be. That's what I believe should happen. And once you get that access code from your county, once they generate a unique access code for you, it's not just for you though. In my scenario, this unique access code is for you and your firearm. So let's say you're an enthusiast and you have 5 guns. You have 5 access codes. So something like that. That's how I believe it should be. 20 digits, 5x, an access code, and then you go back. The website gives you the option to save your order. So you go back, and then you enter that access code, and then that's when they give you a clear, like, hey, go to this location. We're gonna ship it to this location, and you pick it up there. Something like that. I don't actually know exactly how it is to purchase a firearm, but something along that line. It should be a rigorous process, because these are powerful weapons that will end somebody's life, be it a human, an animal, anything, or anyone. And we have the reason we all know. We should know the reason the Second Amendment exists. I'm kind of playing. I feel like as far as gun rights go, I feel like I don't really align too much with my party on that one. I could, but I'm sure I don't fully, because the stereotype, especially, is that Democrats and liberals in general are just not for guns. They're anti-guns. I'm no gun enthusiast, but I'm definitely for the right to defend yourself. And the reason that the Second Amendment is the way it is, it's not towards like other people. It's not per se toward other people. It's towards powerful, like towards truly powerful force. It's like powerful groups of people or the government. It's like, it's there. So if we feel the same, remember that we did have to. We overthrew the government. We didn't overthrow the government, but we severed from the government that we were with in 1776. Remember that. We used to be, of course, we were Native American land forever. For as long as they were here, anyway. Since they first came here. I don't remember when that is. Don't ask me. Comment if you know. But we were, once the Europeans came here, the British in particular colonized this land. They took it away from the Native Americans and they made it a British colony. The people in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, in the New York Colony, in the let's actually take a look at some exact names. I can pull that stuff up now. That's right, I'm back up and running. I'm back up and running on my computer. So, let's take a look. 13 colonies. Yeah, we're going to do this right now. We're going to go through this. All right, so we had the province of New Hampshire, province of Massachusetts Bay, colony of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, which, by the way, what's it called? Oh, there's even more tea over here. I see. So England and Scotland were separate kingdoms at the time. Seems like England included Wales, or included what we today call Wales. The Acts of Union, 1707, made them into the Kingdom of Great Britain, which makes a hell of a lot of sense because, well, really just because the island is, we call the island Great Britain. What's really Great Britain is the island. And it looks like in 1801. Wow, so we were already free from the Kingdom of Great Britain. We were never necessarily a part of the United Kingdom. But what's it called? It seems like while we were never part of the United Kingdom, we were part of the Kingdom of Great Britain. I got a little lost there, but the full name, we basically all of the states except for except for 5 really, are literally you just take the name of the state and it's like state of blank. So state of Florida, state of New York, what's it called? State of California, state of Washington, state of Idaho. And it looks like, except with the exceptions are the Commonwealth. Commonwealth seems to be the exact same thing, or it's just within the context of the 50 states, it's the exact same thing. So we have the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the 4th one. Oh my goodness. Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. Oh, jeez. Okay, it's not Connecticut. I thought I was going to get off on that one. It's going to feel so obvious once I find it out. Okay, so wait. We have Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Virginia. Yeah, it's those 4. Virginia. Yep, it's those 4. Look at me. Being all geography whiz. Alright, but on the real, check it out. So, we have those 4. Now, the 50th and most unique, but definitely very unique case here is that the full name of Rhode Island is the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. That's pretty wild. The State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. So that official name is the longest of any of the 50 states. It's not no complicated shit with Alaska and Hawaii. State of Alaska, state of Hawaii, that's it. how we made a I guess it is Hawaii. Yeah, how we made basically an entire like say straight up an entire like culture. We took an entire culture and made it a state. Not like, the 48 states, the contiguous 48 states, that's all Native Americans across the board. Granted, I mean, numerous different tribes, so yeah, we kind of did even worse on the 48 states, because I'm sure, I learned about, back in third grade, I learned about a few tribes, actually. Of course, the Seminole and the Miccosukee, basically nations, the Seminole Nation and the Miccosukee Nation of people. Those are native to Florida, particularly South Florida. Tocobagas, Tequestas. There were a few more, I actually don't remember. You have the Cherokees, you have the Navajos, Iroquois. There's a lot. So yeah, I guess whatever. We did Native Americans a bad one, basically, in general. And same with Oceanians. And Inuits, too. The Inuits in Alaska. The Inuits are in Alaska, right? Let me know. Comment. Or don't, because I'm going to look this up. Are Inuits in Alaska? Okay, so it seems like most Alaskans continue to accept the name Eskimo, particularly because Inuit refers to only the Inupiat of northern Alaska, the Inuit of Canada. So the Inuits, I guess, are more in Canada. Oh, and Inuit's not, okay, it's not one of the languages, it's not a word in the Yupik or Yupik, I'm not sure, languages of Alaska and Siberia. I see. And I guess Alaska may have a closer tie to the people of Siberia, maybe. Same latitude or similar latitude. Most of the latitude that's similar to Alaska in Canada is the Yukon Territory and the Northwest and Nunavut territories. So, I mean, I'm sure there's way, 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 way less people just overall up there. But I strayed a while ago from where I was actually going. Oh. Damn, I lost it. It's okay, I'll find it. There was a tweet here. So I was talking about this gentleman, Jonathan Smith, who really put his neck out to save several people in a terrorist attack, in a domestic terrorist attack. And I remember seeing so much, everyone's been talking about how this dude, not even this one person, just people in general, goodness, if I could find this. So I liked the Elizabeth Warren tweets. I like the Elizabeth Warren tweets, but I didn't see I guess I didn't like the The one of Jonathan Smith. Whoa. Whatever. What America taught the Nazis. Let's see, I'm going to take a look at that article real quick and see what's up. Okay, so I found the tweet over here. It was by Heather Long, WAPO economics correspondent. I'm still bewildered, though, at the things that the lengths that they have gone to not call this a terrorist attack. Like, people were straight up, I saw a headline straight up talking about, like, shit he was into. Talking about, 64-year-old gunman was into country music and all that shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like, come on. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't care what he was into. I don't. No one cares what he was into. Alright, so let's go down a couple responses. So somebody said, Jonathan is a hero, make sure he's okay. Insurance, clothes, food, etc. Take care of him like he did those men and women. This is what America is about. And then, so that was like the next comment. And then somebody else said, exactly. Now all we need to do is find him and make sure he's all right. And then somebody decided to be, who is we? And somebody made a very good point. This is a thread about a man who did something great who happens to be black. What did you expect? What did I expect? I don't know. He comments some more. Crazy person. And somebody else was like, he saved 30 plus people and this is your response? Let us know how many lives you saved lately. It can be a little astonishing. Now, another reason that I wanted to get into this thread, basically, and talk about a couple of these responses, is because of a term that I saw. A term that I've seen several times, actually. Something called libtards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure anybody can put together what two words libtard is made of. I'll give you a hint. The first one is liberal. Okay, I just saw something very jarring. I'll put a pin in this. One. Matter of fact, I'm giving me a little screenshot. Just so that I remember how mortified I was when I first saw it. But I'll talk about that in just a second. So, that's been quite a... what's it called? Quite an overly used term by the conservatives, the GOP and the Tea Party and the whatever remaining Dixiecrats are around, you know. They use this term libtards. Now, I was pretty certain that we had all pretty much just agreed to stop using that term, stop using that R word. So instead of stopping using it, because I'm sure that anybody who uses libtards uses that R word, that is very, 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 very offensive and dehumanizing to people with, basically differently abled people. Now, basically, because we don't agree with anything they say, or because we've heard that rhetoric for, essentially we've heard the rhetoric that they use essentially since the country's inception, if not a tiny bit later. So, with this term, basically anybody who uses this term is a piece of shit. If you use this term, libtards, if you use this term regularly, and you try to describe people using this term, try to describe liberals who, granted, there's some people who are just blindly liberal and just say blue, blue, blue across the board because they agree with a few key things, and so it's across the board. It's very easy for us to go across the board. People who, we live in a two-party system. Democrats and Republicans. Of course, there's other parties, but we live in the system dominated by these two parties. Now, funny enough, I'm wearing blue jeans and red Crocs right now. That's right, I'm wearing Crocs. So we have the Democrats who, basically, in the last 40 to 70 years, you can argue a couple, but 40 to 70 maybe years, 50 to 70, no, 50 to 80. In the last 50 to 70, we'll say, 50 to 70 years, in that span of time, essentially, since that span of time, has been the party of being progressive, the party of being liberal, of course, the party of liberation of people's rights, the party of equality. And the Republican Party has been the party of traditional values, has been the party of conservatism, has been the party of, gunners' rights and old Dixie and all that kind of shit. Now, while I'm not aligning with the Democratic Party across the board, I am very liberal, and I choose the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party stands for more things that I believe in, a lot of things that I believe in, many, many things that I believe in. I do believe in, I do believe in a big government, but I do believe in a big government that's actually serving the people. A big government that can step in and make things more fair, especially in our essentially free capitalist system. This is a type of just free reign Thunderdome type capitalism, practically. Luckily, it's antitrust government, anti-monopoly government that forces there to be more than one company that provides, say, TV and internet and landline phone to your home. For example, in my home, there are multiple, that's what I was saying, there are multiple providers. We could get Comcast, Xfinity, we could get Dish Network, and we could get AT&T's either Uverse or DirecTV. That's 4 products available to our home, and that's just off the big names. We're not counting the internet exclusive products that aren't really, they don't have like the, basically somebody doesn't come and hook you up. So that kind of thing. I mean, Bell was once the company. Now that I'm putting it together, it makes sense because, Alex Graham Bell. That was the company, and they were forced to break up. They were forced to split. Now, granted, I mean, especially if you've seen that episode of Adam Ruins Everything, Adam Ruins the Internet, you'll learn that things, they still aren't as good as they could be, anywhere near as good as they could be and should be. Imagine if there was one Bell. There was still one Bell with all the advances that we have now. You understand that one company for the entire country means they can charge whatever the fuck they want. And you just have, you have the choice of you go with them or you go without those services. That is the effect of government stepping in and limiting the free reign. So yeah, I absolutely support that. I absolutely support equal wages and just equal rights overall. The conservatives, whether they were Democratic or Republican, have shown themselves time and again to prioritize white men over all other groups, basically, of people, over all other racial and gender groups, racial, ethnic, and gender groups. So, people think. I remember seeing this ad, back in the 1800s, or from back in the 1800s, the Democratic Party. The Democrats are the party of the white man. The Republicans are the party of the Negro. Like, that was an advertisement. That was basically back when the Democrats were, quote unquote, the bad guys. Then they basically showed, hey, this is the party that your fellow white man is supporting. This is the party that's going to make the Negro take over. What do you choose? Like, shut the fuck up. Jeez. Hell, I mean, straight up, had that party switch not happened, I probably would have been a Republican. Sitting here talking about, yeah, I'm a Republican, but FDR is my favorite president. Instead, in this reality, I'm a Democrat, and FDR is my favorite president. I'm not going to defend that in this episode. Well, no, I might. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But, I mean, you get the gist. I'm a Democrat. I would say that I'm more of a liberal than I am a Democrat. But, all in all, I'm a liberal Democrat. And I don't even remember where I was going. But basically, in this two-party system, it's just easier to go along with, not even go along, but definitely at least align yourself with the party that most matches your beliefs. And I'm sure that's the case in just about every democratic society. I'm sure. And, DR, the Dominican Republic, has different parties. Matter of fact, let me tell you guys about a couple. I was actually just with my girl Elsie and her mom last week, and we talked about some political stuff. So we started looking up some of the parties, basically, from El Salvador. So let's take a look. Wow. So there's a Grand Nationalist Alliance. That's several parties. Oh, it was a one-time. Oh, I see. So they kind of gathered. They kind of all united. There's a lot of Christian parties. There's a few Christian parties, yeah. But we have El Partido de la Liberación Dominicana, which is Dominican Liberation Party. Partido Revolucionario Dominicana, Dominican Revolutionary Party. Oh, it seems that the hot boys, the major parties here, Partido Reformista Social Cristiano, so Social Christian Reformist Party. Movimiento Democrático, my goodness, Movimiento Democrático Alternativo. That's MODA. That's Dominican Alternative Movement. The same one that I listed earlier, Partido de la Liberación Dominicana. That's Dominican Liberation Party. And Partido Revolucionario Moderno, Modern Revolutionary Party. I see. It's the legal heir of the Dominican Social Alliance. It's not listed here on this 06 party, or this 06 list. Seems a little confusing though. Can't really tell who's I can't really tell who's the liberals, who's conservative, and what makes these parties different. The current president is Danilo Medina. Yeah, he looks like that. He looks like that kind of guy who makes you think that he's cool, but he ain't. He'll stab you in the back. But I can't prove that. I have no basis at all for believing that other than his face. In one picture. So but yeah, so basically you pick a party that most aligns with your beliefs. And so what I was getting at with that was, yes, I understand that there are some people out there from all parties. There are some people out there from all parties who just kind of blindly go with something. But there's also a lot of people who are fully with something consciously. And when you're with something that's just and that's, empathetic to your fellow humans, that's a good thing. When you're with something that's unjust and shows malice towards fellow humans for things that they cannot control, that's a bad thing. It is very evident. I'm not saying that you being a Republican makes you a racist, but let's be real. How many racists are Republican? They pretty much jumped ship. When the switch happened in the 60s, they jumped ship. They're like, oh, okay, we're not with this. We're on the Republican Party now. After decades, after a century of the Solid South, after a century, we're talking about being so down with the Democratic Party that they took a guy like FDR and helped him get a fucking landslide. FDR wasn't really, come on. FDR was a new type of Democrat. He wasn't that shit. And where else am I going? I'm going a couple places with this point. Basically, if you use libtard, you're a piece of shit. Now, see, liberal and conservative. there's conservative liberal. Conservative liberalism. There's also liberal conservatism. Wow. Liberalism is a political philosophy or worldview founded on ideas of liberty and equality. Liberals espouse a wide array of views depending on their understanding of these principles, but generally support ideas and programs such as freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion, free markets, civil rights, democratic societies, secular governments, gender equality, and international cooperation. Okay, I believe that's a good enough definition there. Oh, never mind. We'll get to etymology and definition. I guess we'll get something good. Conservatism is a political and social philosophy that promotes retaining traditional social institutions in the context of culture and civilization. By some definitions, conservatives have variously sought to preserve institutions including religion, monarchy, parliamentary government, property rights, and the social hierarchy, emphasizing stability and continuity, while the most extreme elements, called reactionaries, oppose modernism and seek a return to the way things were. What was Donald Trump's what was his motto? What was the campaign motto? Make America Great Again. Make America Great Again. I just want to hammer these things into you guys. I just want you to understand where we're basically going. Make America Great Again. Now, I will concede that, it hasn't even been a single year, so whatever exactly he means by that remains to be seen. However, without him saying, it is very evident. One can definitely infer, one can justifiably infer that where he was going with that was all these social and political advances that have come in whatever amount of time have not proven good for your buddy Trump. So a lot of people, of course, latched onto that. And how many people who want things to be, how many people wish that slavery would come back? How many people wish that how many people, oh my goodness. See, slavery might be a hard press for a few people, but come on. We have to know how many people want segregation back. How many people loved Jim Crow? Jim Crow was it was like their Uncle Sam. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about here. So, that's what makes conservatism the opposite to liberalism here, the antithesis, basically the opposite to being progressive, to progressivism, it seems. At least in the way that we interpret it in this country. Okay. So I want to take this a step further. I want to display something here. Democracy, in modern usage, is a system of government in which citizens exercise power directly or elect representatives from among themselves to form a governing body, such as a parliament. Democracy is sometimes referred to as the rule of the majority. Democracy is a system of processing conflicts conflicts in which outcomes depend on what participants do. But no single force controls what occurs and its outcomes. All right. Now, republicanism is an ideology of being a citizen in a state as a republic under which the people hold popular sovereignty. Many countries are republics in the sense that they are not monarchies. The rest was just a sentence about the article that it would make no sense if I read it to you. So, by definition, a republican is an advocate of a republic, which is a form of government that is not a monarchy or a dictatorship, and is associated usually with the rule of law. Basically, public matter, it's not like, a council, even though many people perceive it to be a council. What's that name? That name that's like super rich. That name that you just say it and it just feels like a cloud of like more money than you. Rothschilds. I think those are the ones. Rothschild. Apparently the subject of a lot of conspiracy theories. The family, that is. Alright, so Democrat, a proponent of democracy or democratic government, rule of the people or rule by many. So, a Democrat, this is by definition. We're not talking about parties right now. We're just taking these words. A Democrat is somebody who supports rule of the people. A Republican is somebody who advocates a government that is ruled by the people, or that is essentially for the people. That is not a monarchy or dictatorship. So, basically, anybody who's not an anarchist in America is both a Democrat and Republican, solely off of those words' definitions. So, everyone in America who is not an anarchist, I doubt that anybody, is a totalitarianist, or at least, well, you know what? Let me not assume that people aren't totalitarianists in America. But essentially, if you support the way that our government is at least set up, if you support, the whole for the people, by the people kind of thing, you are both a Democrat and a Republican. Simply but solely off the definitions of those words. So see how those words alone sway. It sways kind of what they're doing. Because the words kind of sound like they mean the same thing. They more or less mean the same thing. So, just something for you to think about. Tell me your thought on that one. Comment. Leave a comment in the comment box. Tell me what you think. But I want to hit a couple more things here. How far are we? Okay. We're making good time, actually. This is a nice long episode. Good stuff. Back in form. So I see that. Even though I haven't been quite in the gym, so to speak, that I can still do reps with the same ease. I can still do the same reps with the same ease. So, one thing that I definitely also wanted to bring in is basically, beyond this whole, libs thing, like, I don't know. It's just kind of. I find it a little hard to just dismiss a whole people. But then again, I just kind of also was dismissing. I was dismissing, conservatives and Republicans just now, wasn't I? I don't know. I guess it comes down to what I can stomach. Maybe. Libertarianism is a collection of political philosophies and movements that uphold liberty as a core principle. Libertarians seek to maximize political freedom and autonomy, emphasizing freedom of choice, voluntary association, individual judgment, and self-ownership. So, on the whole, libertarians share a skepticism of authority and state power. However, they diverge on the scope of their opposition to existing political and economic systems. Okay. On the whole, libertarianism seems very reasonable. Okay. Oh goodness, we have something for each state. Yeah, but they're all about that laissez-faire capitalism. Laissez-faire. Okay, whatever. I guess it's laissez-faire. I don't know. When you hover over the letters on Wikipedia, then it shows you how to pronounce stuff, but it's only if it's being shown in English. So watch the French, it won't. Yeah, it'll just say help IPA French. You can't just be cool and just like show me. Whatever. I don't know that many people say it right anyway. What I did want to touch on though is I feel like I was supposed to like come back to something like epic and like round it out. But whatever, this is a loose format. I haven't even gone back on Twitter since like in a few minutes anyway. So whatever. Here's something that I wanted to talk about. I was going to talk about it in the last episode, but I didn't. So here we are. The American flag is just that. It's just the flag. The flag is supposed to be a symbol of what America stands for. A symbol of what America stands for. So, if we aren't standing for that, then it renders the message that our flag is supposed to be sending meaningless. And it basically makes it no better than a pure white flag. Is that far-fetched? Is that a far-fetched thing to say or think? If we aren't living up to what America stands for, or what America's supposed to stand for, what America purports to stand for, liberty, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, etc. If we aren't living up to that, if we aren't showing at least empathy, at least showing some empathy for our fellow Americans, then we aren't doing our country justice. We are the country. We are the country. The country is nothing without the people, the flag especially. And yes, I'm going to say this right now. The flag is nothing without the American people. The flag is supposed to be a symbol of American culture. The flag is supposed to be something we look to remind us what our people do. Be they soldiers, be they presidents, be they other politicians, be they firefighters, be they good police officers, be they, teachers, be they just science, not just scientists, science is actually a big thing. Be they scientists, be they a fucking janitor, At least that janitor's an American, loving his country, and really, really mopping those floors, really, really making this. I'm going a little out of whack here, but you understand? So when people get all bent out of shape, and they basically try to trivialize a fellow American over the flag. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god, and people always want to chalk it up to, you're disrespecting all the soldiers that went and fought and all that. First of all, if those soldiers were fighting for a flag, you can just lock the flag underground. They're fighting for American people. And I have soldiers in my family, and I mean, they fight for American people. You feel me? It would be futile to fight for a flag. It's easy to say fight for the flag because it sounds cool. It sounds patriotic. It makes you sound like Captain America or something. But oh my goodness, let me tell you guys something. I remember back when back last year when the protests, when Colin Kaepernick taking a knee began, and I was getting callers from all across the country. Of course, of course, more conservatives, and they're all, this Colin Kaepernick guy. Oh, he's disrespecting the flag. I understand you want to protest, but do you understand that he wants to protest? Do you? But you don't disrespect that flag. Straight up, fuck the flag. Fuck it, fuck the flag. The flag means nothing without Americans. The flag is supposed to represent Americans. The people are what make up this country. The people, the citizens, the documented immigrants, the undocumented immigrants. People make up this country. Not a flag, not a football. And oh my goodness, I saw this thread. Let me go down. I'm actually going to go down my Twitter page right now and find that thread. Because that thread they kind of played devil's advocate on that one. Here we go. Oh no, this wasn't another one. Oh yes. All right, so let me read you guys a couple U.S. flag codes. This might be a bumpy ride. The flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, but always aloft and free. That's 10.176C. And they go on to show several pictures of an American flag, of course, horizontally carried across a football field by what looks like either ROTC or marching band, or just some flag people that got to carry the flag. Yeah. Gets better. 10.176D. The flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery. That's my favorite one. The American flag, this is actual disrespect to the American flag for those who actually, for basically somebody did the research, a few people I'm sure, did the research of, because you care so much about disrespecting a flag, let's look up what actually disrespecting a flag is. So, this is the big one. The flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery. How many people do you know? How many people can you name off the top of your damn head? Off the top of your damn head, who definitely use the flag as wearing apparel, bedding, and or drapery? How many people you know got an American flag hat, an American flag shirt, American flag swimming trunks, American flag bikini? Let me think. I'm sure American flag pants. Remember in Family Guy when Peter had an American flag suit? So, for those who wanna spew all this flag disrespect rhetoric, if you have any of that or have worn any of that, shut the fuck up. I'm sure that I did once upon a time. Ooh, I like this one. 10.176I. The flag should never be used as for advertising purposes in any matter whatsoever. Come on, guys. Anytime there's a 4th of July anything, the first thing to get people pumped up about the savings or about whatever deal is going on is an American flag. The first thing. I'm seeing Coca-Cola cans with American flag designs, Budweiser cans and bottles with American flag designs. You can't write this shit, guys. Well, I mean, I guess somebody did. Labor Day sale. Okay. I'm sorry, 10.176I again, or part 2 rather. It should not be embroidered on such articles as cushions or handkerchiefs or the like, and the like. So ascots, napkins, that kind of stuff. Come on, I'm pretty sure I've used at least 10 American flag napkins in my life. So anybody who's spewing this bullshit rhetoric has probably used well into the hundreds. So again, shut your damn mouth. Or otherwise impressed, that's part 3, or otherwise impressed on paper napkins or anything that is designed for temporary use or and discard. Temporary use and discard. Napkins, already hit that. Small plates. Paper cups. I mean, placemats are still rude. Placemats are still, that falls under the, no, it still falls under I. Basically, I imagine the only place that it can be used in that kind of way is like a book that teaches you about America or something about America. Oh, this is my favorite. No, this is probably not. They're kind of all my favorite, but anyway. No part of the flag should ever be used as a costume or athletic uniform. That means that unless you went as unless you're Uncle Sam for Halloween, you're disrespecting the American flag. Chances are, if your costume involves the American flag in any way, shape, or form, unless you are Uncle Sam in and of himself was disrespecting the flag. If your Halloween costume or anything of the sort, if your uniform, anything of the sort, includes the American flag, you are disrespecting the flag. Standing, kneeling, sitting, not covered. Not considered a conduct violation, not disrespectful. Nothing in the flag codes explicitly states that you have to stand, just that you should. So it's like, we'd like you to, but I mean, we're not going to shoot you for it. And people just want to condemn an American's right to protest when this country was founded on that. And people want to spew all this type of rhetoric to condemn people, to censor people, to put people out of a job. Like, I'm just saying, y'all are something else. Y'all are really something else. Not y'all, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and kind of end the episode here. It's been a fantastic time, as always, talking to you guys. Now, as always, I want you to leave a comment on anything about the episode. Just talk to me. Leave a comment. And also subscribe. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to join the notification squad. And just talk to your boy, man. Follow me on everything, CyrexMC, CYREXMC. And I'll catch you next time. Once again, this is The Freak Show, episode 28. I'm your boy Cyrex. Have a good night.